Hi everyone, it is Halloween, and I thought I would document the best Halloween I ever had. If anything, for my children and grandchildren. I don't know if I've ever told them this story, but it's a good one. Okay. When I was dating in high school, back in 1971, I had a 66 convertible Mustang and my fiance had a 71 Nova. Well, we were in his car and we were with his best friend who happened to be his best man at our wedding. And this is what we did. We stole pumpkins off of people's porch. Now, keep in mind, we were teenagers and teenagers do this kind of stuff. We had so much fun. Some of the things we did was kind of dangerous too. I don't know. But we hit many, many neighborhoods in Fairfax County. And when I talk about many neighborhoods, I mean many. We stole about 70 pumpkins. The trunk was filled up, the back seat was filled up, and we had to unload some of them, so we went to where I used to work at Gino's at Fairfax Circle. We dropped them off in the parking lot, and people couldn't, go in or out. Now, that was not a good thing to do, but we thought it was hilarious, okay? Now, it was so much fun running up to people's front door, taking the pumpkin, and trying to get away without being caught. Now, a couple times the pumpkins were wired to somebody's electricity, so we ended up pulling their electrical connections out. But it was the most fun I've ever had. Now, you may ask, what did we do with the rest of the pumpkins? I took them to my parents' house, all of them. And the bigger the pumpkin, the better. I mean, pumpkins like this, like 2 feet high, I guess. My mother looked at us. Wait a second. Where did you get the pumpkins? Well, I didn't tell her because she would have probably whipped me. But I believe she made a lot of pumpkin pies. But that was the most fun I've ever had on Halloween. Now, I used to go trick-or-treating with my sister, who's no longer on this earth. But back in the day, you didn't have those fancy receptacles to put your candy in. You just took a pillowcase off your bed. That is what we used. We did not buy any costumes. We just made whatever we could. A ghost, you just take a sheet and cut some holes in it. We were not into elaborate costumes. We just wanted the candy. Now, we would walk all over Fairfax County. I'm talking Germantown Road. We'd hit hundreds of houses. Now, back then, it was safer. And sometimes we didn't get home till 10 o'clock at night. We trick-or-treated really, really late, to the point where if we knew the pillowcase was almost full, we knew it was time to go home. And my sister, she really shouldn't have been eating all that candy because we did not know she was diabetic as a teenager. She would get very, very sick, but nobody knew this. But we used to walk up and down the road as if it was nothing. Nowadays, little kids can't do that. I mean, we were alone. My parents were too tired. My parents were too tired to take us trick-or-treating. Now, when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, my mom did take us, but I'm talking 3rd and 4th grade. No, we went by ourselves. But that was a different time. This was before people were, putting razor blades in the candy and stuff like that. But I grew up in a really nice time where you could go out and walk, and I miss those times. But I bought this fingernail polish, and I did it in an earlier video. And I want to tell you, it's this good brown. And this dried instantly. Let's see. And it's called Taupe to Go. It's 163 Sally Hansen Instant Dry. I mean, this stuff really does dry fast because I'm always messing up my nails. But yeah, that is the best Halloween I ever had. Now, sometimes we would just go to the church and bob for apples. Now, when I think about that, I get kind of grossed out because when you're bobbing apples with 30 other kids from church, they're slobbering in that water. And that just gives me the creeps now. But, you know, when you're a kid, you don't think about stuff like that. But, yeah, I think I've actually went to almost every church in Fairfax growing up with friends or with schoolmates or whatever. So, I hope you enjoyed my Halloween story. Now, I do think we TP'd a couple people's houses. People we didn't like, we would TP the trees. We would hit the trees, not the house. But yeah, now I never threw eggs. I thought that was just too messy to clean up, but yeah. So I think nowadays, if I had done that, or my children, they would have been arrested if you had been stealing pumpkins. Pumpkins are not cheap anymore. Back then, you'd probably get a pumpkin for 50 cents in the 60s. Now they're like $10. So, happy Halloween. Bye, everyone.